Can I eat them?
Yeah.
Should I eat them?
If you want.
If I want. If I want.
But it's just pretend.
Lindsay has worked hard to provide, but she worries it could be taken away. They rent from a private landlord, but as mortgage rates rise, there may not be the money to meet it.
I'm just waiting for that letter to come through the door to say, I'm sorry, Lindsay, we're going to have to increase your rent. And if that happens, then I just don't know. What else can I do that I'm not doing now? It's either I eat, my children eat, and we're cold, or we stay warm and have bumbling bellies. Like, I don't want to have to make that choice.
Wow.
It's scary.
This is a proud community. Graft, grit, have got its people through hard times. But the fear here, perhaps, for some for the first time, is that it won't be enough.
And Dan is here to talk about all that. Look, that was a very difficult watch. I think for many people watching this programme, you know, it'll perhaps be distressingly familiar for anyone for whom it isn't. It's just awful to watch people in that much pain and fear. They were some of the many voices you've been listening to. Paint a picture, if you will, of what you found.
I don't think I can put it better than what Lindsay said at the end there, really, which I think sums up, and they all said it, Joseph said it, Liz said it, many people we met said it, which is, what more can I do?
What more can I do? What more can I do?
And I think that's the heart of this. We use the word fear in that. You talked about it at the start, we talked about it in the report. The fear comes from not knowing what more you can do to get through it. There's been previous economic downturns, financial troubles, and people say, right, I'll cut back on this, I'll do less of that, I'll work a few more hours. What do you say to Lindsay? She's working full time. She's cut back everything she can. She's already having to think about the idea of putting the heating on or feeding her children. And I think you said it right there. There'll be people watching this programme for whom that is now their reality. You then chuck in the uncertainty of what's been happening over the last couple of weeks. It was while we were in North Shields that the economy took that huge downturn. And as we were leaving North Shields, the government completely flipped its economic policy. And now so they're left with even more uncertainty.
What more can I do? I hate to say it, blood. But sometimes it's just too late, fam. Or it's just too late temporarily. It's not over for good, but sometimes it's just too late, you know. See, these people wanted to get their act together when it was a bit too late. I made a video before. I'ma say it again, blood. When times are bad, work hard. When times are good, work even harder. Because it's the calm before the storm. I don't want to keep mentioning that infamous Holborn job, but blood, when I was working, everything was good. I was banging out the hours and that, and everyone was, you know, get me, the whole country, the whole nation's living life. Ha, 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 he, everything's blessed and that. And then bam, a few months later, in 2019, going on to 2020, COVID hit, lockdown. Everyone lose their jobs. Man are shook, man are scared. Man don't know when their next money's coming in and that. Everyone's finances are so fucked that blood, they can't even survive 1 month on their saves. They ain't got no saves. What am I talking about? I had this before. I remember when I was working at Holmes Haringey. They wanted to move, so all of the admin workers and that, and everyone else in the company got paid on the 15th. But for some reason, the tradespeople, electricians, plumbers, carpenters, plasterers and that, all got paid on the 6th. I don't know why. So some smart ass decided, why don't we just make everyone get paid on the same day, innit? I mean, why wouldn't someone think that in the first place? So everyone got paid on the 6th, and then, well, all the tradespeople got paid on the 6th, and everyone else got paid on the 15th. So they pushed back the 6th to the 15th, nine days. You know, there were certain people that had to take out a payday loan, had to take out an advance loan or some sort to get through the 9 days and that. That's how shit and fucked up people's finances were. Sometimes, unfortunately, if you don't put in the work beforehand, sometimes it's too late temporarily. Sometimes you're going to fail. Sometimes you're going to have to feel it temporarily. Like our man Andrew Tate said, free him up. There's pain to become important and there's pain in not becoming important. And I'll add to that. If you do not put in work in your youth, if you do not make sacrifice in your youth, you will struggle in your elderly age, bro. Let me give you another example of people trying to put in the work and trying to do what they can when it's too late. How many times have you been outside an exam hall? Whether it was your GCSEs, whether it was A-levels, whether it was an electrical exam. How many times have you been outside an exam hall and there's people revising 15, 10, 5 minutes before the exam. Blood, why the fuck was you not revising 2 to 3 months beforehand? Why was you preparing for your exam a minute, 10, a day before your exam? You should have been preparing for your exam months before. We've all done it. We've all done it. If you went to uni, how many times you've been given assignments, dissertation, whatever in it, yeah? You've been given 6 months to do it, but then you leave it to the last 2-3 weeks. Now you're in a panic. Now you're in a rush, making mistakes, end up failing. The reason why you failed is because you didn't do the preparation beforehand. Ain't none of these people that you watch in any of these cost of living videos and that, ain't none of them rich and wealthy. The only people that, you get me, they've succumbed to it and that, and it's just unfortunate, it's the people who are the business owners and that. Because at the end of the day, yeah, if you run a pub or some sort of shop, cafe, whatever in it, yeah, restaurant, you're only going to get a certain amount of footfall. Unless you get an influx of some tourists coming over and that, then yeah, you're going to get a high influx of footfall and that's not even sustainable. So if you run a cafe, you're only going to get a certain amount of footfall. Now, God forbid they put up the gas and electric prices and that. Well, your overheads are going up, but your footfall is still the same. So therefore, the amount that people spend in a month is going to be relatively the same. So therefore, obviously, the overheads are going to outweigh your money coming in, your revenue coming in and that. So certain businesses go bust and that. But unfortunately, that's just the way it goes sometimes, isn't it? But all these people that are struggling and that, blood, they had time before, innit? All these people that are struggling, they had periods of time in their life where they could have been working hard, but they decided not to. Why do I need to work hard for? Life is going good. It's the calm before the storm. There's idiots. There's man right now who, they're like 50, 60 years old, and they've worked in a hardware store for 20 years. And at some point, I mean, I hope they had this conversation. I hope they knew people that they could have intellectual conversations with. I mean, so to speak, not in really intellectual conversations, but the topic of going to university would have came up. And there's certain people who, you know, like they just live a mediocre, cushy, I mean, I'm not going to say cushy, but a mediocre life and that. Just literally living paycheck to paycheck and that. Or a little bit above that. But anyway, they just live like a mediocre life and that. The conversation of university might come, and they probably thought, why do I need to go to university? I've got a good job. I've got a stable job that I go to every day. I've got a roof over my head. I've got lights that I can turn on. I've got food in the fridge. I don't need to go to university. What do I need a degree for? I know some people that have a degree and they're still working a shit job or they're in debt and that, blood. Like I've said before many times in the past, education without ambition is like a car with no wheels. You're not going nowhere. So yeah, you can get a master's, PhD, you can get letters before your name, after your name, like a fucking algebraic equation, blood. If you have no ambition, your uni degree don't mean nothing, fam. But there's certain idiots who have had that conversation about degrees and that, and going to uni and getting educated, and they've probably responded, why do I need a degree? Why do I need to go to university and that? I've got a roof over my head, I've got lights and electric and gas and heating and I've got food in my fridge. Why do I need to go to university? Why do I need to put in the work? That's what they're saying, blood. This is the reason why you need to put in the fucking work. Now, obviously, you lot can't see it, but I'm pointing at my laptop because I was just running the video and that. Madness, blood. Sometimes it is too late. Sometimes you can't do no more. You're maxed out. You know what? You should be maxing out the time you had when times were good, blood. See, this shit here ain't gonna happen to me, fam. Because I'm making preparation. I don't stop working. Never. When I got free time, I'm making videos for you lot. I don't get paid for this. One day it will pay off, obviously, one day. But for now, it ain't paying off. I'm always working. My brain's always going. So, obviously, right now, yeah, it's March the 31st, 2023. You lot literally might not even see this video until August of 2024. That's how much work I've put in, blood. Yeah? Anyway, so, obviously, I completed on my third property in December 2022, yeah, just a couple of days before Christmas, literally. Got the property, turned it over, started renting it out, and I said, yeah, I'm gonna be hoping to buy another property soon, innit? And my girl looked at me and she was like, well, why don't you just like wait for what? I understand what she's saying, innit? Yeah, you don't want to be running too fast so you start falling over and that. But what's there to wait for? I've got the property, I renovated it, I've got it let out, it's done now, innit? Yeah, on to the next one. That's what my mind's thinking of. What am I doing? Sitting down waiting. What is it? A hot bowl of porridge? Sitting for it to wait and cool off. What the fuck am I waiting for? Nah, man, for keep going and that. Obviously, you don't want to get too ahead of yourself and that, all within a controlled manner and that. But blood, you gotta keep going, blood. You can't slow down, fam. I've got bare videos. Man got videos booked up until August, like I said, 2024. I ain't stopping. This is gonna be, well, this is the third video I've made today. I'm gonna make 2 further videos, blood. I'm not stopping. And I'm way ahead. I'm ahead of the people them that I grew up around. I'm ahead of the people them in my family. I ain't slowing down. I ain't thinking to myself, well, I've got 3 properties. I've got a 4th one. I've got a studio flat in Egypt. I still need to fucking go out there. I've got 3 properties and that. I'm living cushy and calm and I'm fine and that. Oh, I should slow down. But I'm not slowing down. I'm speeding up. I'm speeding up, blood. That's the mentality you gotta have. Or else you be broke, fam. Literally, there's certain people, when they go to the petrol station, when they top up, they're really looking at how much it's costing them. Oh, it better not go over £25. I can only put £30 in there or whatever. But like, when I fill up my fucking car, I pull up, I undo the fuel cap, I plug that Ras Clark petrol pump in there, and I keep pumping. I keep pumping till the thing stop, blood. Just like back in the day when I used to shoot niggas, yeah? I used to shoot, man, and you get me, I don't stop when they're dead. I keep, clicking till the gun jam. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Man, I ain't shot nobody in it, yeah, nothing like that. I smacked up bear man on the road, chased bear man, smacked up bear man, and I've been rushed a few times. I lost fights as well, yeah? It's not getting twisted, yeah? Man's lost a few fights, man, I've been rushed a few times, but I smacked up bear man, trust me, innit, yeah? So, man, not saying that, yeah, just wins. No, a few losses there as well, innit? I ain't shot no, and I'm just joking, innit? But, yeah, when I'm at the petrol station, I plug the fucking fuel pump in my car. I keep pumping until the thing stops, until it jams. I don't ever look and think, fuck, I've just spent £70 on petrol. Don't get it twisted. When the fuel prices went up and that, I was like, fuck, man, because I remember to fill my tank it cost X, and now it's costing this much or whatever, innit? That's different. But now that the prices have gone back down, I don't know if they're as low as they were before the prices shot up. Because I remember it was like 180 a litre and that or whatever. So, yeah, that's the only reason why I'll be looking and I'm thinking, fuck, man, this is the... But other than that, I don't give a fuck. No, I don't care, innit? Yeah, I'll pump up my gas up, until it clicks. I'm not worried about, petrol costing me. There's like certain people, like they would never, me, I just sit in my car and idle. Certain people, nah, man, that's costing too much fuel and that. I fill up my motorbike, yeah? I'll go to my mum's, that's where my motorbike is. I'll take my bike to the local garage, Jet petrol station, Bouncers Road, if you know, you know, if you don't, you don't. I'll fill up my bike, put £20 in, I'll go up the M25, bomb around the M25, come back, done £20 in one little riding session, blood. Literally, I don't give a fuck. Other people, they would never just put petrol in their bike and just go for a ride. Because they can't afford it. They can't afford to just spend £25. And if they do spend £25, they need to make sure, like, it's going to be a memorable experience for them. Blood. So this is the power of making sacrifice, being ambitious enough to get a high-paying job, and living below your means. When you got a high-paying job and you live below your means, bruv, you live not like a king, but to some degree, you live nice, blood. I live nice, fam. When you make sacrifice, blood, like you end up living nice, blood. I got 2 bank accounts that I don't even touch the money, you know. I got 2 bank accounts. One for the flat around the corner from my yard, and one from the flat around the corner from the flat around the corner. I don't touch that money, you know. There's about 3 grand in both of them. Yeah, so 6 grand. It's not just gathering dust. And by the time you see this video, it'll be more. Unless I use that money to help me buy another property and that, which I might do. The money's just gathering dust. I ain't even doing nothing with it. This is the luxury. This is the perks of making sacrifice and that. You got 3 grand plus 3 grand. You got 6 grand just sitting in the account doing nothing. You don't even need to touch it. If anything, that's emergency money. And when I drop a U, yeah, when I have a child and that, you see the money that I'm getting from my properties and they will pay for my children. I don't even need to pay for my children out of my pocket, because I'm telling you right now, there are some parents out here who look at their children as not just a liability, they're actually a financial burden. They look at their children and they think to themselves, I wish I didn't have this child, you know. I can't afford this child. They think to themselves, if I didn't have this little fucking cretin, then I would be up £400 every month. I could drive the Mercedes that I really want to drive. I could lease the car that I really want to lease. I could wear the clothes that I really want to wear. But this fucking cretin is bleeding me dry, bro. But it's not the child's fault, it's your fault. For a couple of reasons. The gal, like that woman, I'm sure I showed it in the thing, because obviously I'm going to include it before this video and that. That woman, the reason why she's struggling in that is because she wasn't able to attract a high value male. A man that has money. She got breed up by a waste man. She got breed up by a man that can't even put money on the table so the youth has food to eat and live in a warm house. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like, obviously relationships break down and you're not even with a man that can pay child maintenance and give you a decent amount of money so that you can look after your youth, blood. I don't feel sorry for these women that are struggling and that with a youth and they're with waste men, because women are the gatekeepers. They are the ones that control whether men reproduce or not, unless men are going to do it by force, and we don't condone that. That's why I made them videos talking about I don't feel sorry for no single mums and that, because they had the opportunity to find a decent man, and if they couldn't find a decent man, it's because they wasn't a decent woman themselves. So that's their fault. It's always the woman's fault. There's going to be man that's just dumb. Yeah, that's just dumb. That will just, you get me, want to breed out everything and just ain't going. It's down to the women to stop reproducing with these men. Their genes are supposed to die out, blood, but you are allowing them to continue, blood. I don't feel sorry for these women. I feel sorry for the youths because they want to ask to be put on this earth and that. But I don't feel sorry for the women that are struggling and that. No. Anyway, man, that's it for today, man. Unfortunately, it's sometimes temporarily it's too late. You should have been doing the preparation beforehand. Anybody who watch this video and just think to themselves, yeah, he's right, you know, but you know what, I'm just gonna coast along through life. You deserve to live in a bad situation. You deserve slavery and that. You deserve to sit in a cold house and that. But you're not even doing nothing to better your financial situation, blood. What can I say, fam? Stay wise. Done now.